Mobile port is two words that always sends a chill down my spine, along with It's Complicated, Weekend Special, and Jonathan McIntosh. Case in point is the game Dead Effect. It's a first-person horde-style shooter where you're stranded on a space station overrun by zombies. Now, this was originally only available for iOS and Android, and now it's been ported to Microsoft Windows and is available on Steam. So you're probably wondering whether or not this game follows suit and ends up being as terrible as most mobile ports are. Well, that's a good question, and I'm so glad you asked. Let's just find out, shall we? First things first, yes, this is a mobile port, but it actually seems to be fairly well optimized for PC. The graphics options are fairly detailed, and there is an option to change the FOV, which I'm sure is something most people are curious about. On a 780 Ti and the Ultra settings, I had a pretty smooth 60 frames per second the whole time. Now onto gameplay. Dead Effect is broken up into a few different game modes. You've got your standard campaign mode where you play through 12 levels as either a male or female character, part of an elite group known as Unit 13. In this mode, you wake up from cryostasis and find the space station swarming with zombies, and with the assistance of a mysterious scientist via radio, you navigate the station to escape. This mode is quite boring to be honest, and the voice acting is atrocious, though I think this might have been done ironically.
You have an excellent good night.
No!
The other mode is a survival mode where you play against a never-ending onslaught of zombies, earning cash the higher you can make your combo count. And lastly, there's a sort of custom mode called Biohazard, where you choose from a selection of maps, difficulty settings, and the amount of waves you want to go up against, which in turn affects the amount of money and gold you earn. Now, money and gold will play a big part in Dead Effect because they're used for upgrading and buying new weapons. Upgrades and cash carry across all of the different modes, and there truly is a lot of stuff to unlock in this game. I do find that most of the weapons aren't all that different. I mean, there's 3 or so different types of machine guns in the game, but a machine gun is a machine gun, and the damage they do doesn't really differ all that much, even when they're fully upgraded. The standouts are the minigun and the explosive crossbow. The minigun can hold 500 or so rounds before having to reload, and the crossbow will kill even boss enemy types in a single hit, and it's just great fun firing this thing into a cluster of enemies and watching them all get blown apart. On that note, Dead Effect does get one thing right, and that's the amount of carnage you're able to cause. Explosions look particularly nice. Throwing a grenade out will send meaty chunks of zombies all over the place, even sort of slowing down time for a few seconds so you can appreciate the gore up nice and close. The player has a special move where they send out a huge shockwave around the ground, pulverizing everything in the vicinity, and that looks awesome as well. The visuals though, they aren't amazing, but I find the environments very reminiscent of older games like Doom 3. They are colourful though, and there is a lot of stuff going on at any one time, though I think they went a little bit nuts on effects like normal mapping and lens flare. Now, Dead Effect is a weird game, and that my experience with it is actually backwards. By this I mean that I initially found the game to be incredibly boring, but it was soon after that when I got addicted, whereas normally it should really be the other way around. The upgrade system is very slow to get going, mostly because you don't make all that much cash in story mode, compared to survival or biohazard where you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars in a fraction of the time. So as a result, a lot of the earlier levels are just really boring. Reloading weapons, even when fully upgraded, is still way too slow for my liking, especially for a horde shooting game. I mean, fully reloading a shotgun takes upwards of 6 seconds, even more so when you increase the weapon's maximum rounds. Now that's just far too long. There's also upgrades for your stats as well, what the game refers to as augmentations, but again, these don't really have a huge effect on the overall gameplay. I mean, a fully upgraded stamina bar, for instance, will still only let you sprint for about 5 seconds before you're out of juice. There's also a few technical issues that affect the game in a negative way as well. Now, the major thing being a slowdown effect that happens at random. Now, I'm not sure if it does this because you're in space and it's simulating, low gravity or something, but even outside of the game's preset slow motion effects that occur during explosions, the game just feels very sluggish at times. It's almost like it's been sedated. It's like you're moving around underwater or something. I just can't put my finger on it. Then there are some bad design choices, like zombies that can throw grenades at you, killing you in a single hit. Now that's just fucking irritating. Also, the game has a weird checkpoint system, either penalizing you for death by taking away some of your cash, or forcing you to restart the entire level again. Some of the levels are about 10 to 15 minutes long, so replaying them because some asshole killed you with a grenade you didn't even see coming is more than a little bit frustrating. Lastly, the biggest fault is that the entire game is just single player mode only, and all I can say to that is, why? This is the type of game that would have really benefited from a co-op mode, but it's just another wasted opportunity. I'm kind of torn on this one. I mean, its content is hardly anything new, and this whole zombie fad permeating in the gaming industry is one of the most overflogged dead horses, perhaps of all time. But shit, I mean, the game's only $5, and it doesn't try to sugarcoat what it is. It's a game where you kill zombies with miniguns and crossbows on a space station. And there's just something kind of admirable about a game that's so based. It's not Game of the Year, and it was never trying to be, but if you just want to let off some steam, grind away, and kill a bunch of zombies with different guns, well, you can do far worse.
I'm gonna get you.